like and subscribe if you're interested in the truth. Leave a comment if you disagree. But don't leave a comment that says, I disagree. Give me facts to contradict the facts that I'm going to give you. Don't just expect me to believe what you say because you said it. Give me some facts to contradict the things that I am going to say to you, or the facts that I am going to present to you. Before I begin, I want to say this. Netanyahu is no different than Hitler. No different. And he's doing the exact same thing. He's just using a different tool, different weapons. But he's doing the same thing, killing men, women, and children, and committing genocide. Okay. And if Hitler is crazy, Netanyahu is crazier. Now let's begin. The first reason he's going to lose the war is because he's lost the war in the court of public opinion. He's lost the war in the court of public opinion. What is the court of opinion? It is the people in the world. There are billions of people protesting what Israel is doing. They know that he is committing genocide. Now, you may talk about the bomb that Hamas dropped, but before Hamas dropped that bomb, Israel has been bombing the heck out of the Palestinians for the last 75 years. So they cannot win in the court of public opinion. And we see that every day when you see Israelis, people that live in Israel, complaining about what Netanyahu is doing and calling it genocide. There are people who were in concentration camps in Germany that are petitioning against what he's doing. There are Israelis in America doing it. This is happening all over the world. And these anti-Israeli protesters are being locked up. Lost in the court of public opinion. And they can't, and not only are they being locked up, some of them are blocking the defense industry from sending weapons to Israel. Now, if it's not on, it's probably not on mainstream media, but it is on the internet. So you all who hear me, you're on the internet, so you know that I'm telling the truth. So if you lose the court of public opinion, though, what's going to happen? You're going to be ostracized by other countries. Other countries are going to put embargoes on you. They're not going to trade with you. And the worst thing about it is that Israel has nothing that the world wants. You can get figs and olives anywhere. They have nothing to offer the world that would make them say, we're going to trade with you. We're going to trade. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. But the word I want to use is sanctions is the word I want to use. Sanctions have already been put on Israel. The Muslim countries with oil, they already put sanctions on Israel. So they can forget it. They can forget oil. And you need oil to move your military equipment. You need oil and gas for that. They cut them off. Now, the second reason is they can't physically win the war. They can't physically win it because they put themselves in the same situation that the United States put itself in when we went to war in Vietnam. Tunnels used in guerrilla warfare. Tunnels used in guerrilla warfare, where all it takes is 4 or 5 men with rocket launchers and grenade launchers to come out the hole, go about, engage the enemy 4 or 5, about a half a mile or 3/4 a mile away, hit them with some grenade, rocket launchers, run back that half mile, get in the tunnel, and leave before they can return fire. Before they can make a counter-offensive, you can hit them, run, and leave, and that is exactly what's happening. And when you fight like that, you don't need a lot of men. You don't need a lot of men like that. When you fight like that, the less men, 4 or 5 men is all you need. 4 or 5 men, 3 or 4 rocket launchers, grenade launchers is all you need. Because the more men Israel has when they go in there, the more targets. The more targets. You come in there with a tank, they got rocket launchers to destroy the tank. And if they don't, and even if the tank is might be proof, then you can have men around it because the shrapnel will take them out. So you can't go in there with any serious force. And you're always going to lose more men than the guerrilla fighters. Always. So the United States should have told them, you can't fight guys with tunnels. And I'm gonna tell you this, and Gaza, the Palestinians have been digging these tunnels for the last 40, 50 years. They have tunnels all over the place. And I'm gonna tell you this, don't believe this crap about we caught 200 men in a tunnel, because they're not gonna can you put 200, seriously, can you put 200 men in the tunnel? If they tell you they caught 200 men in the tunnel, they're lying. It's not enough room for 200 men in a tunnel. It's designed to get in there, hit it, quit it, and go. Okay, and the most you're gonna have in them, what, 20? That's it. Tunnels ain't that big. Okay. 3, you have 40 Muslim nations against Israel. They sell oil. They have money to buy weapons. Hamas has an unlimited amount of weapons. But but this is the tricky part. They don't need tanks. They don't need these. All they need is rocket and grenade launchers. All they need is the cheap stuff. How do you think Vietnam survived? They didn't need tanks. They didn't need rockets, tanks, airplanes. All they needed was rocket launchers and grenade launchers. That was it. You know how cheap those are? Then you sending in there what? $1 million, $2 million tank? And this cat got a rocket launcher that, I don't know what, $1,000, $2,000? You lose in the price war. You risking tanks for rocket launchers. And they're gonna hit you, and then they're gonna jog maybe a mile, half a mile back, going in a tunnel, and you don't know where they at. Don't make no sense. But see, should have thought about what you was doing before you did it. And another thing, you have you have made the mistake of being so relentless to where you have put people's backs against the wall, and people are now willing to take their life to kill 20 or 30 of you. You can never, Israel can never rebuild Gaza. Never. Because you don't know when a terrorist attack is going to come. You don't even know if you definitely don't know if you got all the tunnels. You don't. You will never be safe in Israel. Tourists going to Israel, wrong place, wrong time. Public transportation, musical event, movie, it's just not safe. It is just not safe. Let me see, I think it's one other thing. It was the countries that's funding. Well, I think I got everything. Should have been 4 things. Lost the world. They lost the war of public opinion. So sanctions are already put on them, and they have nothing that anybody wants that would want them to take the sanctions down. Then they can't physically win the war because tanks and armies are going to be fighting 4 and 5 men at a time, and they're going to hit, run back down in the tunnel. And if they tell you they got a tunnel with 200 people in it, that's a lie. Why would you put 200 people in a tunnel when you only need 4 or 5? Then they have an unlimited amount of weapons because all they need is rocket launchers and grenade launchers. They don't need it. They don't need tanks and all that stuff. So shoot, they can fund them forever. They can get. They don't even need the infrastructure that is necessary when you're being supplied with tanks and airplanes where you need aircraft carriers and all that. All they need is these little. Well, how much is a tank? How much is a rocket launcher? You do the math. And then, like I said, with so many, and then it's 47 Muslim countries out there selling oil and is going to fund them. So they can give them an unlimited supply of the weapons they need. Oh, and there's one other thing. A GPS will not work in Gaza because you done blew up all the buildings and everything. So you got no streets. So you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going. And heaven forbid you pass by an opening to a tunnel and they're coming out of a tunnel behind you. It's a no-win situation. Like I said, the United States, Vietnam, cats was in and out of tunnels. And then, lastly, you done created terrorists. You done killed people's entire family. These people have nothing to live for, so they will put on a bomb and detonate it. I mean, this is a war that'll never end. This is a war that will never end. And then, like I said before, there's going to be sanctions against Israel for decades. For decades. So now, if you disagree, then leave a comment. But don't just say Israel's going to win because blah, 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 blah. Give me some facts. I gave you 4 reasons why they're going to lose and can't win. So give me some facts if you want to dispute me. But don't just don't come up here with this personal name calling and all that kind of stuff, because that don't bother me. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.